Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Glueck here again. I felt really bad this morning. I intended to record our lesson this morning and it didn't record. I'm not sure what I did wrong. I'm going to work on fixing that problem for the next time. But for those of you who weren't able to join us this morning, I wanted to show you what we did so that hopefully you won't have missed out too much. We started our day by looking at some slides over here, and we talked about trees. As you can see, we have a tree here. And we talked about how trees are green, they have leaves and branches. We like climbing in trees and sitting under them for shade. And then we talked about what happens when leaves turn and look like that. We tried to determine why that happens. So we were talking about why leaves change colors. We took some ideas. I believe Beatrice said she thought it was because they got old. And then we had a couple of other ideas too. And we also talked about whether you'd ever seen leaves with all of these different colors. Hopefully you have. Then we decided we wanted to find out why these leaves change colors. So in order to do that, we came back over here so that we could read our story. And I want to share that story with you right now. It is called, Why Do Leaves Change Color? And this story is in our Raz Kids so that you may go and read it there yourself. Leaves Change Color. It's written by Kira Freed. We talked about this is our table of contents and how we can find what we're looking for on this page by looking at it. We looked at the different page numbers to see if we could remember how a table of contents works. And we found out that if we wanted to find out what happens to leaves in the summer, we look at page 6. And if we want to know what happens to them in the spring, we would look at page 11. Because if you remember, contents are the things that are inside. I reminded the boys and girls how we talked about my cup here. And what is inside my cup? You all know what's inside my cup. Coffee. Coffee is the contents of my cup. This page tells us the contents or what is inside of our book. And rather than going to a specific page, though, we decided to start right at the very beginning. So read along with me. So many colors. Why are leaves on trees different colors? What makes them change color? As you can see, there's all different colors. There's greens and oranges and reds and browns. Why do that happen? Well, the sunlight comes down and leaves make food for the tree from that sunlight. Water and air all help the trees to make food. Green stuff in the leaves helps them make food. It also makes the leaves green. That is why leaves are green, because they are busy making food for the tree. In the summer, leaves are green in summer because they are busy making food. The tree saves some of the food for the winter. In the fall, the weather changes. The days get shorter and the nights they get longer. So trees get less sunlight and they make less food. When the leaves stop making the green color, other colors that were underneath the green start to show through. You can see the reds and the yellows and the browns starting to come out because it's not making food anymore. The green is going away. And the colors that are there all along, they're just hiding underneath, they start to show through. That makes the leaves turn yellow, orange, brown, and red. In the winter, the trees drop their leaves to get ready for wintertime. Don't want leaves stuck on trees in the winter because they'll turn to ice, and that wouldn't be good for the tree. They use the food that they saved up throughout the summer to get through those cold days and nights. So there's still food inside the branches and the tree trunk that the tree saved up while it was making food before. In the spring, when the spring comes, the ice and snow melt and the rain starts to fall. The sun shines and new leaves grow on the trees. The green leaves start making food again. And that's why our trees usually are green, at least during the summer anyway. So after we read our story to find out how our leaves change colors like that, then we went back over to our other side here. And the boys and girls all helped me to create this flow map to help us remember how a tree changes colors. In the summer, the sun makes the leaves green while they make food for the tree. In the fall, there's not as much sun, so the leaves start turning different colors. Then comes the winter, and it gets really cold, and all of the leaves, they fall off the tree. And then in the spring, it starts to rain, and the sun comes out, and the leaves all grow back again. This is what we call the life cycle of a tree, kind of like when we learned about the life cycle of our butterflies. It goes through this cycle. Once the spring comes, it goes back to summer, and the whole process starts all over again. Once we figured that out and had that in our heads, then we came over here to find our cause and effect sheet. Now, if you remember in school before we all left, we were talking about cause and effect. Cause is something that happens that makes something else happen because of it. In the summer, the sun shines bright. That's the cause. What happens when the summer is shining and the sun is shining bright? Well, the leaves make food and they turn green. That's the effect of the sun shining. I asked the student, what happens in the fall? Well, in the fall, the days are shorter. There's less sunlight. And since there's no sunlight, the leaves start to change colors, brown, red, and yellow. This is the cause. The days get shorter and there's less sun. And the effect of less sun, the leaves change color. Do you remember cause and effect? We talked about this in school just before we left to go on vacation, remember? In the winter, when it gets really cold, what happens? All the leaves fall off the trees. That's the effect of the winter cold. The leaves all fall off. And then in the spring, it starts to rain, the sun comes back, and what's the effect of that? New leaves start to grow, and the trees are green and are producing food again. So here we were practicing the cause and effect that we learned about in school. And I'm hoping you remember that, because once we finish this, I explained to the boys and girls that their job now is to go into this reading A to Z, and in there you will find, under your assignments tab, another book that looks like this. It's called The Leaning Tower. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's located in Italy, and it's a real building that actually exists. And in this story, you're going to read about how the Leaning Tower of Pisa was built. And we're going to find out why it's leaning sideways. Buildings aren't supposed to lean sideways. They're supposed to stand straight up and down. So why is this building leaning sideways? That's going to be your job to find out. Your job, before you come meet with me again on Wednesday, is to read this story. And after you're done reading the story, I want you to find 2 reasons why this tower is leaning. But then I also want you to keep reading the book and find out 2 reasons why the tower is not leaning anymore. It stopped. It's still sitting sideways, but at least it's not falling anymore. So now it's not dangerous. Once you have read this story, I attached this paper to our class dojo. If mom and dad are able to print, they can print this out for you. And you can write your answers. There we go. And you can write your answers right on here. What was the cause that made the tower lean? What was the cause that made the tower lean? And then find 2 causes to make the tower stop leaning. It's still leaning, but it's not going any farther. It's staying there. It's going to stay right where it's at. That way it's safe enough for us to climb up into and see what's happening. Okay? So that is your homework assignment for this week, is I want you to go into there, read that story in Raz Kids, and then complete that sheet. If you are not able to print this paper out, that's okay. That's all right. Use your notebook. Use the notebook that you took home. Up at the top, write cause. On this side, write effect. We did this in the classroom. You should remember this. On this side, write what caused the tower to lean. What caused the tower to lean? 2 reasons why it's leaning, and then 2 reasons why it's not leaning anymore, or at least not leaning any farther than it was. When you've got that done, you can either take a picture of it and send it to me on Class Dojo, or you can just hang on to it, and when we come together on Wednesday, you can just show it to me like this, okay? I just want to make sure that you're practicing and you're learning. Also, once you finish doing that, you're going to come over here to our friends at Seesaw, because I've got a couple of really cool activities in there that you can do related to the reading that we did today. One of these activities, why are there 2 of me? Oh my goodness, look how many there are. Let me move those out of the way. There we go. Sorry, not sure why that happened. All right, our first activity is called Trees and the Seasons. And you'll open this up by clicking on this green button. And I'm going to be just a sample student because I don't want to take one of your answers. And you'll see our picture is here. Okay, let me move all these over again. Don't know why it made so many of me. There we go. All right, you'll see this picture is here, and all you have to do is click on this big T over here, and it gives you a box where you can type words in. I want you to type these words. Winter, make another box. Spring, make another box. Summer, make another box. Fall. You can even make these boxes smaller because they do come out kind of big by just clicking on these little circles over here. Now I can take this box and I can move it, and I can figure out which one of these trees show me what a tree looks like in the fall. I'm going to do the same thing with my summer. Which one of these shows me a tree and what it looks like in the summer? Then I have, of course, spring. I'm going to do it with all 4 of these words. I want you to put these labels on the correct tree so that I know you know what these seasons are. Winter, fall, spring, and summer. Just move them down on top of the correct tree. And when you'll leave them there, because when you save this, it'll have those pictures on there. But after you've moved them down, then it's also got this really cool thing over here. It's a microphone. Do you see that over here? It looks like a microphone. If I click on that, I can record myself talking. And I want you to record yourself talking and see if you can explain to me what we read about in our story. Why did these leaves change colors? Just tell me in your own words. Why did they go from green to red to no leaves? This is not a real good picture, but there should be no leaves on that tree. That's just snow. But then the leaves start coming back again. Why does that happen? See if you can remember from our story. And if you need to, you can go back and read the story again to find your answers. Once you finish with that, you're going to click this green button up here in the corner, and it'll save it for you. And that way, I can now come in here and I can see what you did. I can see your answers. I can see how well you've learned and whether you're remembering anything. Okay? Along with that activity, there's another one over here that you can also try. After you're done reading about the Tower of Pisa, I want to invite you to try and build your own tower. You can use anything you have at your house. This tower is made from index cards and tape. This one's made from popsicle sticks. And this one is made from blocks. Use whatever materials you have in your home and see if you can build a tower, and how tall can you make it go? Once you've done that, you click on this button, and again, you'll choose your name from that list. And then if you click on this button here, it's going to turn your computer into a camera. Hey, and take a picture of your tower so that I can see what it looks like. I'm going to close that out though, because I don't want a picture of me. And then you'll click that green button to be able to save it on here for me. I also want you to use that microphone button that we used in the last activity to tell me how you built it. What did you do? Did you get it to stand up straight and tall, or did your tower lean and then maybe even fall over like the story in the tower in our storybook? Let me know what you did. I like these activities because it gives you a chance to talk to me and to tell me what you're thinking inside your head, because I want to make sure you're still thinking. These are the two activities. You can choose one or both of those to be done. And then there's also a couple other ones down here that you can try out if you'd like. Here's one where you can draw a picture of something that you do at home and tell me about it. Here's another one where you can draw a picture of yourself and share that with all of us. And then this one, I'm sure you remember how we play Sorted in the classroom, where we read the words and then sort them by the sounds according to our sentence. These are all just some activities that I've just started by putting in here. I'll be adding more as we go. I think you're really going to like Seesaw because it gives you a chance to draw and write and record yourself talking and take pictures too. So I do hope you two get in here. Before Wednesday, just as a reminder, I want you to read the story about the Leaning Tower and complete the cause and effect. Tell me 2 reasons why it leaned and 2 reasons how they stopped it from leaning. That way people can climb, because right now, let me show you the last page in our story here. You'll be able to see the real Leaning Tower. And as you can see, it's still leaning, but people can actually climb up inside of it and go all the way to the top and look down, because the tower is now safe. How did they make it safe? Tell me 2 things they did to make this tower safe so that it's not falling down anymore. Because otherwise, I'd be afraid to climb up in there. I'm afraid it might fall down. But they have it all fixed now, and I want you to read in the story to find out how did they fix it so that it won't fall down, and what is it that they did wrong to make it go sideways in the first place. So this is your homework for this week, at least for today. I'd like you to have this done before you come to see me on Wednesday. Read this story and then complete this worksheet to tell me your 2 reasons why it leaned and 2 reasons how they stopped it. And then I want you to come over here into Seesaw and do at least one of these activities. You can pick whichever one you'd like. If you want to do both, very cool. But I want you to do at least one of them before we come to join on Wednesday. So that way we can talk about it and see how everyone did. Okay? Also, please don't forget, I need you reading every day for at least minutes. Hold on, there it is. I want you to read for me at least 20 minutes every day. You can use Raz Kids to do that. And also, don't forget to practice your math. You can do your math book. Some of them were asking about that this morning. You took home 2 math books. You want the one that has a number 2 on it. See how it's got a number 2 right there? These are the ones that we're working on, the skills that we've been working on in the classroom. You can start with book number 1 if you think you need to practice and review what we've already done. But if you want to continue with what we've been doing in the classroom, make sure you use book number 2. And then also don't forget that tomorrow, I want you to pick 2 pages out of this book to work on. As I said in the video, I hope you and your mom and dad watched the video that I sent out to you. But some of you may find that the first few pages of this book are really, really easy. And you're going to look at it and go, come on, Miss Glueck, this is too easy. Cool. I'm glad it's too easy. I hope it is for a lot of you. Skip some pages. Go into the middle. Find some work that is appropriate for you. You may choose any pages out of this book that you'd like. But I would like for you to do 2 pages out of this book on Tuesday and 2 pages out of this book on Thursday. I may check with you on Wednesday to see if you did at least 2 pages from this book. But most importantly, please read. Read, 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 read. Reading every day. I don't want you to forget all the important things that we've learned in the classroom this beginning part of this year. I don't want you to forget any of those things. So read, 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 read as much as you can, anything you want. You can go to Reading A to Z, or you can read books that you have in your house. Whatever you'd like to read, just keep practicing that reading. And then don't forget math. You can do Khan Academy, or you can do the Happy Numbers game, or practice in your math book. And those 2 things I want you to do every day, reading and math, every single day. We got it? If we do that, we'll be well on track for the end of the year, and I know you'll be ready for 2nd grade. And that's what I want to make sure that we're still able to do, is be ready for 2nd grade, even though all of these things are happening right now. Again, I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy. Wash those hands a lot. Remember, we practiced that. Keep washing your hands. Keep staying safe. Cover up your coughs. Cover up your sneezes so that you don't get people sick. Stay healthy. And again, if you or mom or dad have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to me on Class Dojo. Send me a message. I check it all the time. I have it right here on my phone. So that way, if you send me a message, I'll find it right here on my phone. I will be able to talk to mom and dad anytime that they have a question. Okay. For those of you who didn't make it with us this morning, I do hope you'll join us on Wednesday. We had a lot of fun this morning. It was really nice to be able to see everyone's faces. So again, stay healthy, stay safe, keep reading, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye.